Pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Now we're open. The pledge. There were no meeting minutes to approve. No true old business, although we've obviously had a few meetings talking about signs. You brought up zombie houses, and Kevin, you wanted to probably further investigate. We should all, whether it's code or enforcement issue.
Yeah, I was looking for the zombie houses. I was kind of reading over some of the code, kind of approaching it. Is there something we want to adjust in the code, or is it more of enforcement where the house is in?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that, I've been involved with Greg over the years in getting court orders to demolish homes. So, I mean, it's unsafe buildings. What happens, our procedure is that the village engineer and the codes enforcement officer goes to inspect the property, determines that it's not safe for the community or to live in, and then they submit a report. They submit it to the owner. The owner can rebut it if nothing happens. The village board is authorized to adopt a resolution authorizing litigation to require demolition of the property. So I think we're all set with that.
So the code is probably, as I look at it, I thought the code was probably okay.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about the shrubs in front of the house, all overgrown.
That's not the issue. The issue actually is the fact that none of the floorboards are all rotted inside, and the piping has burst throughout the years.
That makes it uninhabitable and a danger to the community for people
Correct.
going in there. There were, I forget what street, there were like four houses the owner finally decided that they were taken down. But we've had about 4 or 5 over the last several years where we've required them to be taken down. So it's a danger to the community to have something like that.
Yeah, I know some of the neighbors have said, we'll buy the property for X number of dollars, and the owner refuses.
Well, I mean, we just bring that, as I say, that just needs to be brought to the codes officer. And then, like I say, it would be good, I think I mentioned this at the last meeting when we were together, just get an inventory of what we got in the village, start checking them off one by one.
Yeah, I'm trying.
And then, the other thing too is, first of all, we also have in our code a requirement that the property be maintained. And there's been situations where violations have been made where somebody lets all these things be overgrown, never mows their lawn, that sort of thing. And also, if the property is in foreclosure, the bank is supposed to, first of all, list the property in a list that the state has, and then required to maintain the property. So
The property is being known by neighbors.
Well, but I mean, if there's other places that are just vacant because it's in foreclosure and the owner took off or something, and it's going downhill, codes officer should be able to, or is able to go to the state list and find out who is designated as the maintenance person.
Yeah, there's one of those, but it's being maintained. There's a couple other actually on 9th Street and Genesee. I'll come up with a list of ones that I see. Just keep your eyes open. Okay, and this one I know for a fact because we've gone round and round and round. Either fix it up or tear it down or sell it, and nothing happens.
Yeah, well, it's time to start things in motion.
Correct.
I'm not just looking for more work, but I'm just saying.
No. Well, I look at it as a safety hazard.
Absolutely, because among other things, you've got an empty house, the floorboards are gone, everything else is gone. In one case, there were just animals that were going in and out.
There are.
And you also, if they can get in, drug users can get in.
Well, and recently I've seen in the news that in the city, a lot of abandoned homes are being torched. So let's not go that route.
No.
Right.
Before we, yeah, I was gonna say, before we make a motion, anything else anybody wanted to bring up or discuss?
Should somebody have a conversation with Tim tomorrow, or should we rely on this gentleman contacting him?
I'm sorry.
Referring to the Oneida Street variance that we were looking at, should someone from this board contact him, or is that totally that's up to Mr. Perry, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, the burden is on him. It's just like the courts don't tell people that are litigating before them what they're supposed to do, and we don't do that. I mean, we tell them what the rules are, basically, but, as I say, this is not something we hand to him. He's got to come in and show that he's entitled to it.
And you were gonna talk with Tim about.
Yeah, I'll talk to him about that.
Yeah, just to make sure procedural wise, because I was a little uncomfortable if it wasn't.
Yeah, you can't come directly here and get a variance.
Yeah, that's, so just make sure. That
We're not the zoning Amazon.
So, there's under the assumption that everything will progress as such, I make a motion to set a public hearing for August 12th, 2024 at 7 PM.
I'll second that.
Sounds good.
Aye.
All right, so I'll send an email to Michelle, kind of let her know how everything played out this evening. And as a reminder, if you haven't had the opportunity to drive by the property here, please do so before that August 12th. And otherwise, I think with that, motion to close?
Yes?
Yes, second? Yeah, cool.
Aye.
I would remind the board that if you do go by and you see the property, and you have an opinion one way or the other, at the public hearing, it's good to verbally state that I've gone and seen it, and this is what I think, and this is what I saw, because that puts it on the record, as opposed to just making a statement or not making any statement and voting for or against based on what you saw, but it's not on the record. Because basically, what holds up a zoning board determination one way or the other is what's in the record, not what's in people's minds. So.
I'm a suggestion that up front before the applicant.
No, during discussion, the applicant presents their case, any opponents come in, and then they can close that part of it, and then discussion among the board, and then board members can say, I saw the property, and here's what I saw, just to get that on the record.
And the questions we would ask would be during the public hearing portion of it. And once that closes, we aren't going to necessarily ask any questions, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if something comes up during the discussion, you can always ask them.
Gentlemen, thank you for your time this evening.